The young and the restless spoilers full. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today is a beautiful Friday, and I am so glad we can all gather here to talk about our favorite show. Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the madness because I have a lot of thoughts today and I really need to share them with people who actually get it. I cannot believe what I just watched. I am sitting here staring at my screen, typing furiously because my mind is completely blown by what the writers are setting up right now. Are we seriously doing this? Are we actually going there? I need to know if I am the only one who is seeing the neon signs flashing over Genoa City right now, because it feels like they are about to pair up the most unexpected, chaotic, and downright messy couple in the history of this show. Kyle Abbott and Victoria Newman. Yes, you heard me right. Kyle and Victoria. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. I am half screaming in frustration and half grabbing my popcorn because the sheer level of drama this is going to cause is going to be absolutely off the charts. And look, I have been watching this show for years, and I know how these writers operate. They don't just drop random, tender moments between two characters from warring families for no reason. They are planting seeds. They are watering those seeds. And we are about to get a massive, scandalous tree of a storyline. But wait, I am getting way ahead of myself here. Let me back up and break down exactly what happened in Thursday's episode, July 16th, because every single piece of dialogue was laced with foreshadowing. So the episode starts off on a really somber, emotional note. Claire and Victoria are spending time together in the living room, honoring the 1 year anniversary of Cole Howard's death. And honestly, it was a really beautiful scene. They were sitting there eating some of Cole's favorite snacks, just reminiscing and talking about how much everything has changed since he passed away a year ago. It was touching. I was actually tearing up a little bit because Cole was such a huge part of Victoria's life, and his death really left a massive void. But then the conversation took a very specific, very intentional turn, because out of nowhere, Victoria starts updating Claire on Kyle's life. Victoria, why is the ice queen of Newman Enterprises, the woman who usually looks at anyone with the last name Abbott like they are dirt on her shoe, keeping tabs on Kyle's personal life? She starts telling Claire all about the horrific things Patty Williams has been doing to, and we all know Patty has been an absolute nightmare, kidnapping Abby and Dominic, blackmailing Jack, Markham strangling Diane in the car. It has been a bloodbath of trauma for Kyle. But the fact that Victoria is the one delivering this news to Claire, that was my first red flag. And then we get Claire's reaction. Claire actually looked a little sad, and I completely understand why. She pointed out that Victoria seems to know way more about Kyle's life right now than she does. And that stings because let's not forget, Kyle was Claire's rock last year when Cole died. Kyle was the one holding her together. And now, a year later, Kyle hasn't even reached out to her. Victoria tries to smooth it over by saying that Kyle probably hasn't called because he knows Claire has moved on and he has moved on too, which, okay, is fair. Claire is currently having a very passionate, budding romance with Holden Novak, and she is super focused on that. But you can still see that tiny flicker of jealousy or sadness in Claire's eyes that her own family member is suddenly in the loop with her first love. But here is where the writers really tip their hand. Claire mentions that Victoria will probably start a new romantic relationship at some point soon. What does Victoria say? Uh, she immediately shuts it down. She says she absolutely does not want anything serious. And then she specifically name drops Nate Hastings, saying that whatever is budding between them is strictly just friendship. Ban. Friend zoned. Nate is officially out of the running for a serious romance. So if Victoria doesn't want anything serious and Nate is just a friend, what does that leave? It leaves a massive opening for a secret, no strings attached, highly inappropriate fling. Okay, back to the point. Let's talk about the hospital scene from earlier this week, because this is the moment that really solidified my theory. Victoria has been an absolute emotional wreck lately, and rightfully so. Her mother, Nikki, just had the bandages removed from her eyes, and her vision did not return. Nikki is still blind. It is devastating. Victoria had just taken her daughter to visit Jack Abbott in his hospital room, and when she stepped out into the waiting room, she just broke down. The stress of Nikki's blindness, combined with the fact that Victor is secretly liquidating Nikki's assets and taking over her estate while she's incapacitated, is destroying Victoria. She is vulnerable. She is crying, and who walks in? Kyle Abbott. Now, historically, if Kyle and Victoria are in a room together, they are ripping each other's heads off about family business. Kyle is usually bashing Victor, and Victoria is usually defending her father with her dying breath. But that is not what happened here. Not at all. Kyle stopped. He saw her crying. He checked on her. And instead of arguing, they shared this incredibly sweet, tender, quiet conversation about the deep friendship between Nikki and Jack. It was soft. It was vulnerable. It was two people who are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, just taking a breath together. I mean, am I crazy? Or was the chemistry kind of electric? I know some people are going to hate this, and honestly, half of me hates it too because it is so wrong on so many levels. But the other half of me, the half of me that lives for soap opera chaos, I am absolutely here for it. Because think about the psychological state these two are in, right? Victoria is watching her mother suffer while her father plays ruthless corporate game. Kyle is watching his mother, Diane, suffer severe trauma from Markham while his father, Jack, is being blackmailed for sex by a literal psychopath in Patty Williams. They are both angry. They are both desperate. They are both exhausted by their families. When you put two highly stressed, emotionally vulnerable, attractive people in a room together and they decide they don't want anything serious, that is a recipe for a steamy secret affair. And let's just talk about the sheer messiness of this family tree for if Kyle and Victoria hook up, they are crossing so many lines it is actually comical. Kyle is Claire's ex-boyfriend, Claire's first love, and Victoria is Claire's family. I know people are going to say, how could Victoria sleep with Claire's ex? But honestly, have we forgotten who we are talking about here? This is Genoa City. Sharing exes is basically a competitive sport in this town. Remember when Victoria literally married Cole Howard? The same Cole Howard who used to be involved with her own mother? Nikki? Yeah, I haven't forgotten. So if Claire finds out about Kyle and Victoria, she might be a little grossed out at first, but she really can't say much. It is practically a Newman family tradition to date within the same dating pool. But the real explosion, the absolute nuclear fallout, that is going to happen when this secret comes out? Victor Newman. Oh my God. Victor is going to lose his actual mind. I am getting giddy just thinking about Eric Braden's performance when Victor finds out his CEO daughter is sleeping with an abbot. Victor hates Kyle. He has always looked down on him. But right now, the hatred is at an all-time high. Because let's not forget what Kyle is doing behind the scenes. Kyle is currently so enraged at Victor for bringing Patty Williams back to town that he actually went to the jail to make a dangerous, shocking deal with Patty to get revenge on Victor. Claire literally warned Kyle to back off and not mess with her grandfather, but Kyle is too reckless and vengeful to listen. So, Kyle is actively plotting to destroy Victor with a psychopath while simultaneously jumping into bed with Victor's daughter? I can't. I literally can't. The drama is too good. So how is this going to play out? I am calling it right now. They are going to keep it a secret. Victoria already said she doesn't want anything serious. Kyle is way too wrapped up in his family's trauma to commit to a real relationship. They are going to start running into each other at the GCAC or maybe late at night at the office. The tension is going to build. The stress of Victor's corporate attacks and Patty's reign of terror is going to push them to the breaking point, and they are just going to cross the line. It will be a secret, passionate, no strings attached arrangement to help them escape their miserable reality. And honestly, I think they need it. Contradictory, I know. 5 minutes ago I said it was wrong, but now I'm kind of rooting for them to just let loose. Victoria has been so rigid and stressed out lately. She needs someone who isn't a safe choice like Nate. She needs someone who challenges her, someone who is a little reckless. And Kyle needs a distraction from the nightmare that is Diane and Jack's life right now. They are the perfect storm. But secrets in Genoa City never stay secret for long. Eventually, someone is going to catch them. Maybe it will be Claire walking into an office at the wrong time. Maybe it will be Victor having his security team follow Kyle because of the Patty situation, only to get a report that Kyle is sneaking into Victoria's home. Whatever it happens, the fallout is going to shatter the fragile truce between the Newmans and the Abbotts all over again. I know some people in the forums are probably going to be disgusted by the age gap or the family connections, but personally, I think this is exactly the kind of soapy, scandalous storyline Y and R needs right now. We have been so bogged down in corporate takeovers and AI framing plots that we need a good old-fashioned forbidden romance to spice things up. Wait, I just had another thought. What if Kyle uses his relationship with Victoria to get inside information on Victor's plans? What if this starts out as a genuine moment of connection, but Kyle realizes he can use Victoria to help his deal with Patty? If Kyle plays Victoria, she will destroy him. Victoria Newman does not get played. If she finds out he was using her body to get to her father's secrets, she will end him faster than Victor ever could. The stakes are just so incredibly high. All right. I need to stop typing before I give myself a heart attack thinking about all the possibilities. I am going to be glued to my screen next week to see if they share another look or another conversation. Please tell me I am not crazy in the comments. Do you guys see the chemistry? Are you dreading this hookup? Or are you secretly hoping they just go for it and burn the whole town down with their scandal? Let me know, because I definitely need to talk about this more